Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I know I'm an hour late, but I had a bad night, and so you're getting me as soon as I'm awake enough to do this. All right, so today we are on Tunisian Stitch number 9 for us, but it'll be 9A, 9B, and what we are doing is the seed stitch again, just like we did last week, but we'll do one block where we change the color on the left hand side of the block, and then the other one will be on the right hand side. So I've already made my blocks, so what I'm going to do today is just share small little stitches, little stitch samples to show how to do the color changes. Okay, so let's start with the one that you change on the left. I did this in red and orange, so it's kind of hard to see the color change. Good morning, Janet. But I thought if I did a little sample, you'd see how to do your color changes. This time, the color changes will be on the left, which makes it look like I'm saying on the right on here, but it's on the left. This is my left hand. My wedding ring's on my left hand. So let's do this one. And like I said, I'm going to do a small little sample. So I've got pink and green this time. And of course, the pink had gotten pulled way out and the green not so much. So I start with a loop. And for this, instead of doing 20 stitches, I'm only going to do 10 just to, have like a little sample piece. Put my hook on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to turn my chain like the first lady we watched, and I'm going to work in this back little loopy thing here in the back. This is the hardest part for me. Once I get past this row, then it speeds up a little bit. So how's everybody doing this morning? Linda and Janet? I haven't had any coffee yet, so maybe I need to stand up and put my hands around the camera so it's a little bit more visible. Oh, and I have a storm moving in. Can y'all hear it? It's really rumbling. So if I lose you guys, I might have to do this again later. We'll see if I can get 10 stitches on here. All right. And then I always, it's just become second nature to me that I count and make sure I've loaded up 10 stitches onto my hook. That way I don't lose count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, that storm's loud. All right. So we're going to change the color on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and change it now because remember you change it on your return pass. I guess that's the best way to think about it. I'm going to loop it. And so I have a loop on here. And we're switching to the green. So you pull through 1, and then pull through 2 the rest of the way. All right, so we are back across, and that's why I didn't want to do a full-size block, because I didn't want to be here all day, because I got to do the other direction too. All right, so the thing with this is, I'm going to move you over here a little bit so I'm not angled so weird. You're not only changing color on the left-hand side, you've got to remember to do the pattern where you start with a different stitch each time. So I'm going to start the first one on the hook on this side. You could think of it as a side stitch or a simple Tunisian. So the first stitch on this row that I'm going to put in this first bar, not this one, because the loop on the hook is what counts through this one. It's the first one that's next. So I'm going to do the purl in there. So I push the yarn to the front side and then pull it through. So each time you change color, your pass will be the opposite. It kind of makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where you are. Maybe make a note that the green, you'll always start with a purl, and the pink, you'll always start with a simple. That might be an easy way to do it. So we did a purl. We're going to do a simple, and then a purl, and then a simple, and then the purl, and then simple. And with it being a color change, it's really easy to see your bars that you have to work through. I almost feel like doing the color changes makes this even easier, because you can actually see where you get. Now, when you get over here to this side, you're going to be working through the edge. And I'm just going to go through behind the 2 stitches there on this one. All right. So now we're going to drop the green to the front and pull the pink tail back up and get your other tails off. And then you just work back across. So we'll go through 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now this row is easier to see. So this time we're going to do simple first. So through the bar, then pull the yarn forward, and then through the bar, and simple and purl. And I'll just work across and see if you guys have any questions. And then we're going to switch, and we're going to do a small sample of switching on the right side. I figure if I did this small sample, now I've got myself confused. Okay, so simple. I've gotten to where I can tell which ones are simple and which ones are purl when I look at it. And on about the second row, it's real easy to see where you need to go, because you'll go through one green band and one pink band, or one of each of your colors, as you work up the side, and that's how you'll end up with a nice smooth side. That looks a little wonky. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, but I still have 10 stitches. So that's switching color on the left, and this is what your block will end up looking like. Now the next one, I'm just going to pull this back out, because you know how easy it is to pull this back apart. I say as I'm having trouble. Just got to get the right one. And I'm going to cheat. I'm going to slide this starter back so y'all don't have to watch me do the whole stitches to get across, because this first one is just doing the basic crochet on. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I got to do one more through. I pulled a little too hard. All right, so pretend I just did the first chain and the crochet on. To switch to the other color now, we're not going to do it on the left where this tail is. We're going to do it over here. So we're just going to use our pink and work back across to the other side. And if you remember right, you still do the 1, and then you take 2 off at a time. Two at a time. Okay, well, hang on. These first few rows are the ones that are the most difficult. Once you get past them, it works up. All right, then you stop while you still have the 2 hooks on. Drop your pink yarn, and this is where you're going to pick up your green yarn, or your whatever your second color is. Okay, move your tail out of your way. Get your working yarn where you can work with it. Grab your chain. Pull it through the last 2, because you want all of your crocheted on loops to be green. Think about it that way, okay? So now we'll do the pattern just like we did last time. Start with a purl in this first one. And then simple. And then purl. And then simple. And it's real easy to tighten your stitch back up with this, I've noticed. I'll just pull on your tail a little bit. Purl. And then simple. Where's the next? Gotta make sure I'm not skipping a bar or I won't have enough. Purl. Simple. And then we want to work on this edge. You want to go through just the 2 outer stitches. So there's a loop for one, and there's a loop for the other. All right, and then I'm going to verify I have 10 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then I'm going to work back, because remember we got to change on the other end, because that's where our thread is waiting. So 2 off, 2 off, 2 off. So at the beginning of the video, we did a left hand change off. And right here, we're doing the right hand. Okay, so you leave those 2, drop that down, pick your pink back up, pull it through. And then we started with purl last time. So you start with simple this time. Simple and purl and simple and purl. Simple, purl, simple, purl, and then you go through the 2 at the edge. And if it was longer, I could turn it so you could see that there's a loop at the front edge of this block, and then there's one back there. That's where you want to go with your hook, is in those 2 loops, and then pull it up. Okay? All right, so you just repeat that pattern until you get your block as big. Oh, and I didn't show you here's the one where I switched on the right-hand side. And when you use a higher contrast, it is so much easier to see the pattern. I'm going to move my sample out the way. So here's the left-hand sided one where I did red and orange, and it kind of just blends away. But this is where I changed it on the right, and you can see the vast difference. If you look really close, you can see how just changing the yarn from one side of the block to the other kind of changes the pattern slightly as to where each color falls within the block, which I find extremely cool because I'm one of these that likes lots of textured patterns. So, and my blocks might not all be perfectly, mine are working up to be 5¼ inch square. I don't know how y'all are managing on your size, but I'm still thinking of making myself a either a sweater or a cardigan, kind of in that old 1970s granny square method where you put the squares all together. I printed off the granny square pattern, but I might have to make some adjustments because, you know, I might have to come up with my own pattern just using that as a guideline, because I think my blocks are slightly bigger than what they call for in that pattern. So I might have to use fewer in one direction than anyone else. Yes, I've been catching Mikey on the feed I have for the reels. He pops up. He was rolling up. He makes me want to get a ball winder for my deflated, what did he call them? Deflated skeins, you know, where you've used from the middle and the skein gets, see, this one's kind of there. It's kind of deflated. And I think I want a ball winder so I can wind them up. It's so much easier to work from a ball, but I don't have a ball winder. Oh, Mary, I tried the pumpkin and I've ripped him out and I'm going to try again, but that is really something to get your head around, to work from one end of the hook to the other. I went to Joann's and got, where did I put it? I bought just one, I just bought one of those hooks. This pattern is free from the Crochet Crowd. If you go over to Mikey's channel and look for the video for these pumpkins, these are the Tunisian crocheted pumpkins, and you use you use the double-ended hook, and you work in the round, and you work your stitches, and I think for the small pumpkin it's like 26 stitches. Well, then you work off about 13 stitches. Then you push everything to the other end, and then you start working in the back or into the ones that you just worked off. But you have to bring it around and start it. And boy, I'm having trouble with that. So if you guys want to check this out, this is over at The Crochet Crowd with Mikey. This has been designed by Anita Grover over there. They are on Yarn Inspiration, I think, but this is a Crochet Crowd freebie. And Mikey did a crochet along for this, so you might want to go and just print it off. It's like a 2-page, and you can make 3 different sizes. And I can't remember what size this hook is now, and you know it's not marked. I guess I'll have to get my gauge out. Is it the same size as this one? I think it is. So this is the 5mm. No, I think this, no, I don't know. It looks a little bigger. This might be the 5.5. But anyway, this one's quite the trick. I'm determined to learn to make these pumpkins because they are so stinking cute, and it ends up looking knitted and it's crocheted. So I won't give up on it. Once I get one, I need to go outside and get me some sticks for the stem because you put a little stick in it. Hello, Cole. Hi, buddy. Did you want to say hi? Come here. I saw your daddy came home. Yeah, it's all right, beautiful. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, honey, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, I hear it's a storm. It's a storm, isn't it? Yeah. So today's Tunisian crochet and my grandkitty Cole. It's my grandkitty. Hi. You're so pretty. I know, it's thundering. All right, Cole wants to go. There he goes. Bernadette's doing okay. She's here somewhere. I got her in. He's rubbing his cheeks on everything to show my cats. Although Howard got Cole cornered the other night and was beating him up. So he's kind of wary of Howard right now. Bernie, are you in here? Oh, she ate a big bunch of her breakfast. She wasn't eating there for a little bit, but oh, she's behind. She's over here. Here she is. Say hi, Bernie. I'm cleaning up. She was out in the yard. She got muddy. She goes under the shed to get out of the rain. So let's let me do let's see. Let's turn the page. We're using this book as our guide again, the Tunisian Crochet Basic and Textured Stitches Volume 1. There is a Volume 2, but I don't have it. And I figure after we get through this, it's 50 plus stitches. We'll be fine. We'll have enough blocks to do something with. And then we'll switch and do something else. So let's see what we're going to be learning a new stitch that's we're going to be working in something called back bumps. So I guess I got to figure out what it is, but it's the grid stitch. And it makes like this funky grid. Interesting. So it looks like we're going to work in the top of the stitch instead of around the bars. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll go looking for a tutorial for us. But if I don't find one, it'll be me trying to learn and then teach y'all. So I hope that's okay. And I hope my tutorials are clear enough that you guys can do them. And I will look forward to your blocks. And I will talk with you later. I need to go get something to eat now. So y'all have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.